what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job, ladies. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's volleyball match between the Lisbon Broncos and the Wyndmere Lidgerwood Warbirds. Now, introducing the starters for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Lisbon Broncos. Eighth setter, number 4, senior Aubrey Bakken. At right side, number 9, senior Kason Anderson. A middle hitter, number 3, junior Olivia Tui. The other middle hitter, number 8, sophomore Taylor Gilbert. An outside hitter, number 13, senior Cassidy Rostock. Outside hitter, number 2, junior Riley Rostock. The libero, number 14, senior Sydney Anderson. The Broncos are coached by Ronnie Carter and assisted by Shelby Walliser and Corey Knippel. Now, starting for the home team on the scoreboard, Wyndmere Lidgerwood Warbirds. Center, number 3, senior Lakin David. At right side, number 14, senior Kaylee Harless. A middle hitter, number 15, junior Ashley Moe. The other middle hitter, number 11, junior Kendra Kaczynski. An outside hitter, number 5, senior Jessica Kuchera. The other outside hitter, number 1, junior Alexis Bush. The libero, number 4, junior Tiffany Springer. The Warbirds are coached by Tanner Carlson and assisted by Aaron Bodenstengel and Allison Drusko. And the officials for tonight's match are Rick Hendrickson and Bev Wilson. Lines people are Alicia Burnt and Jordan Sorrell. Let's play.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Law Sports. Finally getting tuned in here. We ended up with 3 games in the JV, and Wyndmere Ledger came out on top 2-1, and then we had Parents Night here in Lidgerwood, so we're getting going a little bit later tonight, but should be a good matchup. Should be a lot of fun. Kind of a lot of riding on this tonight for probably more so the Warbirds than it is for the Broncos. But either way, should be a good match tonight. Warbirds are coming in 6-5 overall, or excuse me, in the region, 14-12-1 overall, and Lisbon is coming in at 3-6 and 13-14 on the season. So we'll get into the region setup and the tournament and whatnot in a little bit here. We'll get the game underway. One thing you're going to miss, if you haven't seen lately, is a big player for Wyndmere Ledgerwood, Julia Quam. Julia is out probably for the year in all the sports, which is obviously going to hurt the basketball team a little bit too. Julie a very fine athlete. She's been fighting a little bit of a knee issue for the last couple of years, and it's taken its toll a little bit. So I'm going to be meeting with the surgeon here in a week or so. Our thoughts and prayers are out to her, and hope for a speedy recovery.
The Warbirds have won the toss, and they will be serving, and Lakin David is serving.
And looks like Lauren Oster is in the lineup, the freshman for the Warbirds. And there's Jess Kutra in the front and you're going to hear that name a lot tonight. Big leader for the Warbirds, no doubt about that. And that one's going to be just tried to save it by Oster. Good try. But point's going to go over to the Broncos. Cassidy Rostock, a senior back serving. Lisbon has a pretty big program. They always have. They've had some pretty outstanding players in the past. A lot of kids on the roster. Counted between the three teams, they got about 33 kids, so they bring quite a bit to the table. On the varsity level, 6 seniors, 3 juniors, and a sophomore, if my count was correct. And the point's going to go over to the Warbirds. Lakin David, the senior, found the opening. Now, Kutra is back to serve. Jess, a senior. We have a lot of, as a coach, I have a lot of respect for Jess. She, pretty good kid, both on and off the court. She was able to get me some stats for tonight's game, so we can go through those in a little bit for the Warbirds. And we're all tied up at 2. Here come the Broncos. And Ashley Malk is in the middle. Comes up a little bit short. Ashley, a junior, hails from Barney. Talk about big sister in a little bit. There's Alexis Bush on the outside for the Warbirds. And Alexis again. Good defense by the Broncos. In the middle for the Broncos, that's Taylor Gilbert. She's listed at 6'1" and a sophomore. Have not seen Lisbon play this season, so I can't give you too much insight on it. But no doubt when you got 6'1" in the middle, it's going to cause some issues. And there's senior Kaylee Harless with the tip over, found the opening.
Serving will be number 2, Maya Jelnick.
Maya Jelnick checks in to serve. Maya Jr. for the Warbirds. Down by a point. And the left hand of Kaysen Anderson. 5'11" senior. So they got 6'1" and 5'11" in the front. Ashley Malk's listed at 5'10", Kaylee Harless at 5'10". You'll see a lot of Kendra Kaczynski tonight. She's listed at 6 foot. She's a junior. Lakin David, 5'10". So the Warbirds have a little bit of size to them. As they trail 6-3 early in game number 1. Like I said, we look for a pretty good matchup here tonight. And speaking of Kendra, in the front row, gets a nice block. Alexis Bush on the outside. Springer with a nice save up or in the back row. There's a sophomore again. Gilbert. Kuchar from the back row. Good volley back and forth by both teams. Good hustle, good defense. And the left hand. Of Saxrud, if I'm correct. Jade Bergman back to serve. Here comes Kaczynski in the front, and she gets it blocked by Gilbert. So point's going to stay with the Broncos. They take an 8-3 lead. Early here in game number 1. Parents' night here in Lidgerwood. Lidgerwood comes in with about 27 kids on their 3 rosters. And we're going to have in the net called on Lisbon.
Side out Warbirds. Serving will be number 8.
Laura Gutzmer to serve, the senior for the Warbirds. Nice save in the back row by Springer that time, and there's Bush, but she gets it blocked. And Gilbert's kind of having her way up in front. Going to be a little bit of an adjustment that Warbirds are going to have to make. Maybe a back set. And there's the ace for Riley Rostock, and Coach Tanner Carlson wants to call a timeout here. Talk to the Warbirds a little bit as they're trailing 10-4. Game of spurts, what volleyball is. So no doubt that the Warbirds can go on a little bit of a run. You know, I'm sure they're definitely feeling the effects of not having Quam out there. You know, she's a second on the team and on offense in kills, and anytime you take someone like that out of your lineup, Jessica Chera is leading with the kills. And then she is at 200, and then Quam comes in at 160, and then it goes down to Ashley Malk at 137. So we'll see if the Warbirds can adjust a little bit. And Lakin David gets it up and over. Setter for the Warbirds. Lakin having a nice season. A couple times I've seen her play. Done a great job out there. Lauren Oster back in for the Warbird, but the point's going to go over to the Broncos. And here comes Kuchra, and that one's going to be called out. Right down in front. So 12-5. Broncos up by 7 now. That one's going to be a little long.
Side out Warbirds.
Good read that time by the Warbird back row. Ashley Malk checks back in. Springer back to serve. And Kuchar went up for the block in the middle, but didn't quite get there in time.
Side out Broncos.
Olivia Tui,
Serving is number 4, Aubrey.
listed at 5'8" junior, gets the kill. Aubrey Bakken, another senior back to serve. And that one's going to be a service there. point and the ball going back over to the Warbirds. Kaylee Harless checking back in.
Serving is number 3,
Lakin David back to serve. Kuchera, Harless, and Mauk in the front row for the Warbirds right now. Warbirds need to take a little bit of advantage here. Without Gilbert in the rotation right now, and Kuchera takes advantage. Gets the point. 13-8, down to a 5-point lead now. It's David back to serve. And there's a hard hit from Cassidy Rostock, the senior. And Ashley Malk has it blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds. So it's going to stay with the Warbirds, cutting that lead down to 4. Nice hard hit that time by Ashley. Pretty good block by the Broncos, but just a little bit outside. There's Kason Anderson, the big lefty. And it's blocked up front by Kuchera, and the Warbirds on a roll. Got the lead down to 3, 13-10. Set in the middle for Tui, and she gets the kill. So back to a 4-point lead. Cassidy Rostock serving. I'm sorry, folks. Here seems we're having a little streaming issues. If we're jumping around on you, I'm not sure what's happening. Take a second here to see what I can find. Can't make a lot of adjustments midstream, so we'll hope it holds on there for you.
Side out Broncos. Serving is number 3, Olivia Tui.
If it continues here, we'll have to stop the stream and get started over.
Side out Warbirds. Serving will be number 2, Maya Gelnick. Side out Broncos.
Tri-State is playing at Sargent Central tonight, and they won the first set 25-5, and they won the second set 25-18. So a little bit ahead of us here. Next break I get here, I'm gonna slow the stream, stop the stream for a little bit, try to make a couple adjustments for you. Not 100% sure what's happening, but anyways, we'll get her fixed. 17-12 now. There's Bush with it for the Warbirds. All right, we'll get back into volleyball here. And lift is going to be called on the Broncos, so ball's going to go back over to the Warbirds. Down by 4, Laura Gutzmer back to serve. Gilbert back in the front row for the Broncos. David with the set, and tipped over by Bush. And blocked up front. And the tip's going to go out of bounds by Kaczynski.
Riley Rostock.
Riley Rostock back to serve. And there's Gilbert in the middle. It's blocked by Kaczynski, but block's going to go out of bounds. So the point's going to go over to the Broncos as they extend the lead. 19-13 here, game number 1. Up and over. Here's Gilbert in the middle, and she goes with the tip. Tries to kill on the pass. And on the outside, Cassidy Rostock has it blocked, and the point's going to go to the Warbirds.
Serving is number 9, Lauren Oster.
Lauren Oster back to serve. Lauren stepping into that varsity role, and another good athlete. Got some good years coming ahead for the Warbirds. Just a freshman, getting some varsity experience. 19, 20 to 15.
Serving is number 14.
Sydney Anderson back to serve. The libero tonight. There's Kutra. She gets it down for the point. Jess coming in from the outside. Tiffany Springer Jr. back to serve. That one was blocked. Chance for the Warbirds here to get one back. And that one was blocked up front, so good defense by the Broncos. That was Tui up front. And Coach Carlson wants to talk it over. I'm going to halt the stream here for a little bit, see if I can't make a quick adjustment, and I'll be right back.
Side out Warbirds. Serving is number 3, Lakin David.
Down by 4, Lakin David back to serve. Warbirds trying to battle back into this one, down by 4. There's Kutra. Nice defense in the back row that time by the Broncos. And they're going to come away with a point. Sometimes you want to be a little lucky, but can't take anything away from the Broncos. A good defense in the back row by, Anderson. There's Ashley Moak. She gets the kill. Aubrey Bakken reaching out for that one. Aubrey, a senior for the Broncos. Good defense at the net that time by Mout. And Alexis Bush. And that one's going to be long as the Broncos take a 23 to 18 lead.
Serving is number 3, Olivia Tui.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to end the stream, and I'm going to restart it. I'll restart the computer and see if I can get see what's happening here. Don't like not being able to provide you with some good service, so. And there's Gilbert in the middle.
Number 1 to the
19-25. Broncos take the first one. And so, like I said, I'm going to need to shut things off here, and I'll be back with you. It shouldn't take me more than a couple minutes.
Get out your blue tickets.
All right, just in time for game number 2. Hopefully we took care of the issues. There's Ashley Malk in front. Blocked up front by Gilbert. There's Jess Kuchera. Good defense in the back again, that time by Anderson. She had a good first game in the back row. And Malk looking for the back corner. Maybe a free ball here for the Warbirds to see if they can take advantage of it. David with the set. Gets it to Kuchera, but again, the back row. And that one's going to be close, but it's going to be called out. So point's going to go over to the Warbirds. Lakin David back to serve. Thanks for those of you that are bearing with me here. Hoping we got everything taken care of. And there's Ashley Malk with it. That one's going to be in the net. So point's going to go over to the Broncos. Cassidy Rostock had a nice first game. Senior. And in the middle, that's Tui, but covered by the Warbirds. Broncos have another shot at it. And there's the left hand of Kaysen Anderson, senior. Pretty good rotation when you come across with 6'1" and 5'11". Nice serve that time by Rostock as the Broncos take a 3-1 lead. Warbirds coming into tonight 6-5 in the region. And the Broncos 3-6. Like I said, pretty big game. The season for the regions is going to be closing down here pretty quick. Everybody's got about 2-3 games left. A couple teams with one. Warbirds have their last game of region play on November 4th, which is a Monday. I believe that's the last day that they can play, according to the state, as they will travel to Tri-State, take on the Tigers. Their next game is going to be at Wilmot, and that's going to be on Thursday, October 31st. So Halloween, Warbirds are traveling down to Wilmot. And that one's going to be a little bit long for Bush.
Side out Broncos. Serving will be number 3, Olivia Tui.
3-point lead for the Broncos. Warbirds on their heels a little bit.
Side out Warbirds.
But he turned around pretty quick.
Number 2, Maya Jelnik.
As Kendra Kaczynski checks in, front row. Harlison Bush, the others. And there's Bush. But the point's going to go with the Warbirds as Gilbert's going to be called for in the net. So Warbirds down by 1. Maya Jelnik serving for the Warbirds. Well, you know, the back row of the Broncos playing pretty well tonight. That one's going to be a little bit short.
Side out Broncos.
Ashley Malk comes in, goes out.
Number 12,
Springer comes in. The libero. And Kaczynski tries or finds the back row.
Warbirds. Serving will be
Nice shot by Kendra that time.
Laura Gutzman.
Get that back corner. And with Gilbert in the front row, you got to look for something a little bit deeper, and Kendra did just that. Here's Gilbert in the middle. Not quite handled by Springer.
Side out Broncos.
The Warbirds, you know, they get that within a point, and then it just can't get over that hump. A lot of game left here in game number 2. Some of the other games going on, like I said, Tri-State
Side out
playing
Warbirds.
Sargent Central. Enderlin is at Oak Grove. Maple Valley is at Central Cass, and Northern Cass is at Richland. Now that Northern Cass-Richland game, they had already played once this season, and Northern Cass come away with a 3-1 win. So this is just the second time on the schedule. Oak Grove and Northern Cass are definitely, you know, the cream of the crop as far as Region 1 goes. They're both undefeated, 10-0 and 9-0. And actually, the only sets that they have lost all season, as far as the region goes, each team has won 3-0 every night except for one. Richland has taken one game or one set from each of the Jaguars and the Grovers. So look forward to a pretty good region tournament. Of course, you know, the Pirates took on Oak Grove what night are we? We're on Thursday, so it must have been Tuesday night. And the Pirates just couldn't get over that hump either. They were right there, but the power of Oak Grove sure shined through again. And, you know, we got to see Oak Grove when they were playing here with the Warbirds, and, you know, Warbirds hung with them. You know, that 4 or 5 point losses for the first 2 games, and they kind of slipped a little bit on that third game, but you know, the Warbirds still have a chance. They're sitting pretty decent, you know, as far as the region goes. They depending on what happens here tonight, possibility that they may be hosting a play-in game, which would be kind of nice. It's always nice to play on your home court. Right now they're sitting at about 7th at 6-5 in the region, which is right at the cutoff line if you want to host a play-in game. Like I said, they'll only have one game left after this as far as the region goes, and they'll be playing at Tri-State. Tri-State taking care of business tonight, and they might get their first win of the region. Tri-State and Sargent Central both 0-8 and 0-9, so one of those teams going to come away with a win here tonight. Going through the region, going into tonight now, Northern Cass is at 10-0, Oak Grove is at 9-0, Richland at 7-2, and then you have kind of a bottleneck. Hankinson at 7-4, Kindred at 6-4, Milner North Sargent at 5-4. Wyndmere Lidgerwood comes in 6-5, Central Cass 4-5. Wyndmere Lidgerwood, I believe, holds the tiebreaker over Central Cass as they had beat them earlier in the season. And then Enderlin at 3-5, Lisbon at 3-6, Maple Valley at 2-7, and then Tri-State and Sargent Central. We know that Hankinson will play host to Milner North Sargent on Tuesday night, which is going to be huge as far as the seedings go. It's going to be tough for any of them teams to end up in the top 3, which is where you get the bye. I think we just got to decide which one is going to be number 1 and which one number 2. I think Richland's going to come in at number 3. And then The rest of them are all pretty much at a bottleneck. Now I know losing Quam was quite a bit for the Warbirds, but I still think that they have some good athletes and they have the capability of making a run at the region tournament. Just got to keep playing hard like they have been. Down by 7 here, game number 2. Down by 8, 15-7. As the Broncos are going on a little bit of a run, you can see the hop in the Broncos step a little bit. Alexis Bush going to check back in. And Oster going to take a little break. Pretty big shoes to fill. Not a lot of freshmen get the chance to play varsity sports, especially at volleyball. But you know, Lauren's doing a great job out there, stepping in. Lakin David back to serve. And there's the luck that you need. Set was a little bit too far forward, and Kuchera took advantage of it. Down by 7. We'll see if David can go on a little bit of a run here. And that one's going to be out. As far as serving goes, the Warbirds are coming into tonight, looks like right at about a 90% clip. Unfortunately, my sheet got cut off a little bit. I know that Lakin David is in the 90% tile, but I can't tell you how high of 90. And the outside power of Cassidy Rostock. No doubt she hits it hard, and sometimes that's all you got to do. Springer couldn't quite handle that one. So back to a 7-point lead now. Rostock back to serve. And good hustle that time by the Broncos, and then a little bit of miscommunication, and the point's going to go over to the Warbirds. We'll see if Wyndmere Lidgerwood can take advantage of this now. Kuchera back to serve. Back set by the Broncos, but the Warbirds covered it well, and Ashley Moak found the outside. Nice dive by Bakken that time, but she couldn't quite get there, so it leads down to 5. 17-12. Couple of breaks for the Warbirds now, and sometimes that's all you need. Get things rolling. And Moak up front battling, and she's going to get the point. So great hustle that time by Ashley Moak. Kept the ball in play. And Warbirds end up with the point. Just down by 4 now. Free ball here for the Warbirds. And David gets it to Alexis Bush. Gets it blocked, but she saves it. Moak gets it up and over. Back come the Broncos. Riley Rostock, the junior. David tips it up and over. The Broncos recover. There's a volley back and forth for both teams here. And Ashley Moak gets the call. And the Broncos want to call a timeout, talk it over a little bit. Right away, the front row of the Warbirds was calling for a tip. I didn't see it myself. I guess I was looking somewhere else. But nonetheless, they got the tip. The head judge up top says it was tipped. So we're going to go with that. Down by 3. The Warbirds are battling back into it. We talk about Northern Cass and Oak Grove. They play each other on Tuesday, October 29th. So that's going to be a big match. See who's going to come away, and that'll decide who's going to come away with the 1 and the 2 seed as far as the region goes. And then we'll see how the region plays out. You know, you just got to give yourself a chance. You got to get into the tournament. And that's the one thing about volleyball is everybody gets into the tournament. You all have a play-in game. You all have a chance at it. You know, there is a chance, you know, that Lisbon and Wyndmere Lidgerwood could end up playing again. Little communication in the back row. And back to a 5-point lead. But, we'll see how things play out. Really won't know the final until, till that last night, I guess, November 4th. Region tournament is going to be in Fargo. According to the state website, it's at the Civic, 11th, 12th, and 14th of November. Seems a little bit late, but I guess that's just how the timing works out. Both the football, Wyndmere Lidgerwood football team ended up their season on Saturday. A little bit short of the playoffs this year. Back to a 6-point lead, 20-14. And 21, no, the Broncos coming back. Up by 7. That's Tui back serving. And there's Bush with it, but it goes a little bit long. Tui, a junior. And she gets the ace. So back up to a 9-point lead. Warbirds going to turn things around here a little bit. Run off about 10 straight. Take the lead back. Could handle that. Hoping the video issues we had got straightened out a little bit. I noticed when I came in that I had my computer in sleep mode, and you know, everything went fine for the JV game. I knew it was pushing a little bit on the kilobytes, but it seemed to get through. So I thought maybe it would go through with the varsity too. But a little bit more going on in the varsity game, and so just had to do a little restart, which happens a lot with computers. If you ever dealt with them,
Serving will be number 12, Jade Bergman.
First thing you got to do is turn it off, turn it back on. And the Tri-State Tigers come away with a sweep, 25-5, 25-18, and 25-18 over the Cadets. And Warbirds get the point. Laura Gutzmer back to serve. And that one's going to be in the net. Down to a 7-point lead. And there's Gilbert in the middle, but it's blocked up front, but you can't get the second one, and the Broncos are going to take game number 2, 25-17. As teams take a little bit of break. I'm going to take just a little bit of a break here, let you watch a little bit from one of my sponsors. As an affiliate of KBID, Three Rivers Trading uses the power of the internet to market your items to over 300,000 registered bidders. Whether it's from the farm, the shop, work, or your home, 3RT can turn your stuff into cash. Check us out online at www.3rt.co to sign up for our email and text alerts. Whether you're buying or selling, give us a call and we can help get you registered and start bidding on k-bid.com. Our warehouse is located in Wahpeton, North Dakota, and our phone number is 701-403-1077. Give us a call and let us do the rest. That's www.3rt.co. And we're back. Got a little bit of time here and talk a little bit about a former Warbird player. Allie Mauk playing volleyball for the NDSU Bison, and Allie having an outstanding season. Bison have really turned things around. They're a young team. They were a young team last year, but this year they've stepped up their game a little bit. They're coming in at 4-4 in the conference overall. They're on a 2-game winning streak, and one of those wins came at the hands of UND, which has been kind of a powerhouse in volleyball, and has kind of beaten up on NDSU a little bit as of late. But NDSU turned that around and came away with a nice win there. They do play Friday night at home. They're playing against South Dakota State. So football team is down at South Dakota State, and volleyball team is home Friday night. That's kind of a big game. The Bison should take care of that, but you never know. Jacks come in at 2-6. And then on Sunday, Bison have a huge night Sunday afternoon, I should say. So if you get a chance, get up to the Benson Bunker and check out the Bison and check out Allie. They're playing host to Omaha, and right now they are tied with Omaha, both at 4-4. I believe in volleyball, I'll have to double check, but I think they take the top 4 in volleyball and go to the Summit League tournament. And right now, that's what they're tied at. So going to be a big game for the Bison. Allie is second on the team in kills, and she's third on the team in blocks. And they're, like I said, they're a young team. They only have one senior on that Bison team. So that's pretty fun. I know talking to mom and dad that heading into, they're sure looking forward. Well, not that they're giving up on this season, but they're sure looking forward to next season and Allie's senior year and seeing what the Bison could do. The Bison are being led by Alexis Bachmeyer, Fargo product. That she's at 224 kills. As an outside hitter, and Allie is at 161. So a little bit of a jump in between there, between number 1 and 2. But boy, they sure are fun to watch. And you know, visiting with Allie in the off season a little bit, and some of the workouts that they do and what they do to put into it, it's pretty outstanding, and it's kind of fun, kind of neat to see what a local product can do. You know, Lisbon's had some nice D1 players. You know, I'm going back about 6-7 years here. Also with Kindred had a few. So it's nice to see some of the smaller schools and the kids that we know and we can talk about a little bit having some success. at the, sorry about that, at the Division I level. And then the Broncos jumping out to a 3-0 lead, and that's kind of where they've been. They get up by 3 or 4, and then they kind of just maintain there for a while. And Warbirds got to turn things around here a little bit. Good defense up front. Point's going to go to the Warbirds. Jess Kuchera back to serve. Of course, if you know, if you follow football at all in the FCS, you know, Bison, obviously they come in at number 1. South Dakota coming into the game at number 3. Game day, ESPN game day is going to be in Brookings. So that's a pretty big thing. You know, a couple of former Bison, Wentz and Goddard. One Bison, one Jacks. Of course, they're both on the same team playing for the Eagles, so I'm sure there's a little bit of chatter going on between them two on Saturday. Teammates now, but, you know, they played hard. And the last team to beat the Bison, South Dakota State. So a little bit to play for here on Saturday. Should be a fun game to watch. But for now, we're playing volleyball. Ashley Malk. Another chance for the Warbirds. There's Ashley again, and she gets the kill. Ashley with a good hard hit. The only thing Ashley's got to learn a little bit is, and I'm sure Big Sister is trying to tell her, and if I know anything about sisters, I can about imagine what the conversation is, but she just got to get the ball down a little bit. She's swinging hard. A lot like Kaya Malk in Hankinson. They both very hard swingers, which is great. Just got to control the ball a little bit, get some of that top spin on, and try to get that ball down. And here come the Broncos, but covered nicely by Kaylee Harless. And there's Bush on the outside, gets that one blocked. Nice back row that time by Springer. Good volley back and forth. And Tui's going to get the point.
Side out Broncos, serving as number 3, Olivia.
As Gilbert checks back in. Tui back to serve. Here comes Bush. That's the spot that being vacated by Julia Quam. But Bush is doing a fine job here tonight. He's had a few shots blocked. Make the adjustment to get it up and over a little bit higher. And talking about getting higher, Kendra Kaczynski is in the middle, and she gets the block. So nice timing that time by Kendra. Maya Jelnick back to serve, and the Warbirds up by 2. And Springer comes back in. Back to serve is Jade Bergeman, senior setter. Tui with it on the outside. David tips it up and over. And tipped up front by Kaczynski, but couldn't quite handle it. Ball falls to the ground. Point's going to go over to the Broncos as they trail by 1. Warbirds down by 2 games. Got to put 3 games together here. Come out of here with a win. And out of the reach of Springer. So we're all tied up at 7. Broncos on a run here. And nice serve that time by Bergman. Not everybody can do that. Backed off on a little bit. Look for the opening. Comes back with a nice serve to the back row. Keep wanting to say Hurlburt, but that's over in Enderlin, and that's the boys. Got a couple of 6'8", 6'9" kids over there. They're going to be pretty fun to watch here in the next couple of years. And the Warbirds got to call a timeout here. Tana Carlson wants to talk it over. Got to stop this thing. As the Warbirds were up 7-4. So the Broncos have rattled off 6 straight. Back to talk about the region a little bit. Lisbon has Tri-State and Central Cass to play yet. They play next week. Actually, they play tomorrow night. They go over to Lemoore, which is going to be a tall task. Lemoore, pretty solid team this year. And then they play Tri-State on Tuesday the 29th, and then they finish it up with Central Cass, at Central Cass on Monday, November 4th. So a chance for the Broncos to move up a little bit. They're going to be hanging right in there with Enderlin. One's 3-5, one's 3-6. So either way, I think they're going to be looking at traveling for the play-in game. But if they can come out of here tonight with a big win, it'd be a little bit of an upset. But they're up 11-7. And nice corner shot by Kendra. Get the ball back in the hands of the Warbirds.
Number 8, Laura Gutzmer.
Gutzmer back to serve. And that one's going to be blocked by Kaczynski in the front row. Good timing by Kendra. Nice block, tipped it back down. Nobody there, gets the point. So Warbirds down by 2. With a chance here. Up and over. Gilbert couldn't quite reach it on the first one. She tried to tip it on the second one, but point's going to go over to the Warbirds. They trail by 1. Nice serving by Gutzmer. Laura, a senior. There's Gilbert in the middle, and that one's going to be blocked by Kaczynski, but Warbirds keep it alive. And going to be tipped, and point's going to go over to the Warbirds as Bush gets the kill. We're all tied up here at 11. Little bit of a miscue by Gutzmer, but we get it back and going. It was Gilbert up front, but again, it was tipped by Kaczynski, and that sure helps up front when you can get your fingertips on it, give the back row a chance. And there's Saxerud on the outside, the left-handed. But the Warbirds are going to get the point, and up by 1, and the Broncos are going to call a timeout. So the Warbirds on a little bit of a run here. Hope you're all enjoying the evening. It was pretty nice outside when I came in. Sun was shining, not much wind for a change, no moisture. Sounds like might get a little bit cool in North Dakota next week, but that happens. It's we're in North Dakota, so it's going to change eventually. I don't think there's any moisture in the forecast, so that's a good thing. Boy, it's sure been a tough time for the farmers, no doubt. You know, any outside construction guys, road guys, whatever. It's been a tough fall, no doubt about that, after a tough spring. So we pray for them and see a few of them got started a little bit today out in the field. I think by the weekend you'll see quite a few of them out and going, at least in our area. Not sure about the rest of the state, but and there's Kuchera from the back row, shows her strength. And Bush looks a little bit excited, or a little bit, what, you want me to serve? Coach says, you bet. So nice serve. And good hustle by both teams, and the Warbirds are going to come away with a point. A little bit of bounce in the Warbird steps here. It's good to see, up by 2. Bush back to serve. And the kill by Rostock. Going to give the point back to the Broncos.
Serving for the Broncos.
Just looking for a few stats here as far as the serving goes. Alexa doesn't serve a lot. And we're going to have a little bit of indecision by the official, which the Lisbon coach and some of the boys don't agree with. But, hey, that's the call. Springer's back. Going back to Bush serving. She's attempted 32 serves this season, so not a lot of serving, but, you know, she does the job. And point's going to go back over to the Broncos. Aubrey Bakken back to serve. Warbirds up by a point. Bush getting in the back row. We see Springer helping her out a little bit. And nice tip that time by Kuchera, but it's covered by the Warbirds. And there's a hard hit of Kuchera, but nice work in the back row by Rostock. But the ball's going to be in the net. Point's going to go back to the Warbirds. They're back up by 2. Lakin David back to serve. Lakin, a senior. And like I said before, she's having a nice season. Kind of nice to have a senior setter, and she got some height to her, and so doing a nice job. And Kuchera gets the tip, gets the block, gets the point. Warbirds up by 3. 17-14 in game number 3. Thanks for tuning in to Coach Slow Sports here tonight. If it's your first time joining us, go ahead and like the channel if you would. Help us out a little bit. Got one, maybe 2 more games on the schedule for Coach Slow Sports. Then we'll be done with the volleyball season and take a little break and get ready for basketball season. Things are going to get a little bit busy, especially after the first of the year, I guess. But it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Had a nice conversation with one of the parents from Oak Grove the other night in Hankinson, and You know, we talked about the live streaming and stuff, and so yeah, I enjoy it, no doubt. Not school funded or anything. We just kind of do it on our own, go where we want to go, and we enjoy getting to some of the other schools. I think we got our stuff figured out in Rossville, so get a few more tri-state games. And the Broncos are clawing their way back in it, down by 2, 18-16. Back down to 1. Olivia Tui, junior, back serving. Springer in the back, and there's Kuchera from the back row. Hits in the front, hits in the back.
Serving will be number 2, Maya Gelman.
If you've watched the broadcast before, you know I feel about Jess. She's a great all-around player, leader, and the Broncos are going to be called for in the net. So point's going to go over to the Warbirds. Maya Jelnick back to serve. And there was a little bit of not quite the right set between Gilbert and Anderson. Weren't sure who was going to get it. A little bit of indecision, and point goes over to the Warbirds. So don't forget, you can check out all the Warbirds, the Pirates, and the Tigers. Check out their rosters, see their games, the scores. I don't put a lot of stats up. I got some stats up for Tri-State. The coach does a great job of sending me stuff after every game and kind of keeping on top of things. My biggest thing is I taking the time to keep everything updated, but we got quite a few of their games up. Got a few pictures here and there. So check it out, www.coachlawsports.com. You can also Google Play Store and iTunes. Check out the Sports Engine, it's called, Sports Engine app, and you can follow all the games. As soon as I get the scores, I'll put them up, and it'll come through on the alerts and all that good stuff. So you can check that out. Got something new coming up. Hopefully, 1 or 2 of the first vlogs we're going to put up. Little video blog that I've been working on, and got a couple of those. And you know, the video part is the easy part. It's all the editing and whatnot. I don't fortunately have anybody to do that for me, so it's kind of live and learn and do it as we go. It's not exactly you know, ESPN stuff, 30 for 30 or anything, but it's kind of fun. I got a chance to spend an afternoon with Tri-State Tigers volleyball team, and so we're going to do a little video on them and to start things out. And then you know, if you have anything special you want to talk about, basically it's going to be me talking and do some interviews. I got some things coming up, but just check it out. Try to get out 1 a week if I can. If we can't gain a few listeners. But we got a volleyball game going on here. Warbirds are up. There's Gilbert in the middle and going to be blocked by Kaczynski up front. Good timing there by Kendra. And there's Bush, and she's going to get the kill. Boy, you can sure tell a difference between Alexis in the first game to game number 3 here. She's really settling in a little bit. Now she's going to get back to serve again. 23-19, Warbirds are up. Alexis does a nice job. Here's Gilbert. Going to be blocked. And pass wasn't exactly in the right spot. Good hustle that time by the setter, Bergman, but she just couldn't quite get there. Warbirds take advantage. They're up 24-19. Game point here. And Rostock finds the opening. Lauren Oster's going to check back in.
Number 14, Sydney Anderson.
And a little bit short. (24-21). Warbirds still up by 3. All they need is 1 here. Close this one out. Start the next one, and there comes Kutra. Saved in the back row by Anderson, up and over. Warbirds with another chance. Here comes Kutra again. Another save in the back row, and the point's going to go to the Warbirds as they take number 3, 25-21. So we're going to game number 4.
Coachwell Sports is proud to bring you the 2019 Wyndmere Lidgerwood Warbird volleyball team. Subscribe to Coach Law Sports on YouTube to see the live action of the 2019 Warbird volleyball team. Check out the roster, their schedule, and the results on CoachLawSports.com. Like Coach Law Sports on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all of the up-to-date information on the 2019 Warbird volleyball team.
Really? Just sorry about that, folks. Getting a little bit of update on the Vikings game. Talking to Ashley's mom and dad up here. As an affiliate of KBID, Three Rivers Trading uses the power of the internet to market your items to over 300,000 registered bidders. Whether it's from the farm, the shop, work, or your home, 3RT can turn your stuff into cash. Check us out online at www.3rt.co to sign up for our email and text alerts. Whether you're buying or selling, give us a call and we can help get you registered and start bidding on k-bid.com. Our warehouse is located in Wahpeton, North Dakota, and our phone number is 701-403-1077. Give us a call and let us do the rest. That's www.3rt.co. Well, let's get into game time. A little click of the button there, hit the wrong one. But thanks everybody tuning in to Coach Law Sports. Kind of a fun one here tonight. Broncos are up 2-1. But Warbirds got a little bit of a hop in their step now. So put together 2 more games. Giving themselves a chance. Get back into this one. Come out of this with a win. The way the way the region sets up, 1, 2, and 3. You get a bye first round. I guess you'd call it a first round bye. Don't have to play the play-in games. And then 4 plays 13, 5 plays 12, and right on down the line. And like I said, right now, the way it sits is Wyndmere Lidgerwood is sitting at seventh place. They're a game over Central Cass, who's been on a pretty good roll as of late. Started a little bit slow, but Central Cass is always one of those teams that they'll be in the hunt that come the end of the season. But if Wyndmere Lidgerwood can stay up on them and get that home play-in game. And there's the point for Ashley Moak. All tied up at 1. Game number 4. Lakin David back to serve. It's served by Lakin. And a better hit by Rostock from the back row. Cassidy having a fine night.
Cassidy Rostock.
And she gets the serve. 2-1 Broncos now with the lead. I said earlier, Tri-State came away with a victory over Sargent Central, so hats off to them. We'll see if I can get you the few other scores. Being this one's going to be a little bit late. Should be able to find a few more scores. If you're ever looking for scores or want to know what's happening in sports in state of North Dakota, head on over to ND Sports, North Dakota Sports. You can find out scores. There's a nice block up front by Kuchera.
Serving is number 5, Jessica Kuchera.
And Bush checks back in. NorthDakotaScores.net. Just go ahead and search it. You'll find it. Volleyball, basketball, football, softball, baseball, you name it. If it's sports, it's going on in North Dakota. You're going to find it there. So I want to thank him way much for putting all this stuff together and North Dakota Preps. And it's a lot of work. And trying to get all the scores reported and right scores and get them on up, because as soon as you put up a wrong score, people complain about it and whatnot. So the work that they go through to get all that done is it's off the charts. I did basketball entire Region 1 last year for all the teams, and I had a tough time keeping up and finding some of the scores, and I had to use, I did use ND Scores. Follow them on Twitter. Also, great spot to go, which is where I'll head now. We'll see if I can find out what's going on. And point's going to go over to the Warbirds.
Side out, Warbirds.
One of the things that's going on here tonight, they made a little announcement before, is they're taking donations here tonight for a young man called Trevor Zulke. Trevor hails from, I want to say Britain, somewhere in that area. Anyways, Friday night playing football, he had a little bit of a head injury and ended up having some surgery for that. Still, he's in an induced coma right now, so a lot of thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. And hats off to the Lidgerwood school here for doing that for him and his family here tonight. But if you guys can say a little extra prayer for him, that would sure be great. We hope that young man pulls through. Warbirds down by 2. And good volley back and forth by both teams. And we're going to call a double hit. The setter doesn't quite agree with that. Coach is trying to figure out which one it is. Coach is trying to make the rules here a little bit, so it's interesting. We'll see who's going to win the little decision here tonight. What's a game without a little bit of controversy, though, huh? You got to have a little bit of fun with it. Gives me a chance to see if I can find out what's happening in the world of sports here tonight. While we're talking about it here, the crowd gets into it a little bit and gets kind of fired up. For those of you sitting at home and enjoying the Vikings game, 16-9, really? 16-point favorites. All right, we'll get back online here. ND Scores. At ND Scores, if you can get on Twitter, that's where the man's at. Going through a lot of games tonight. Oaks is on a pretty good roll this season. The only region game they lost was at the hands of Carrington, but Carrington also has a loss, so tough region over there between Oaks and Carrington. Just like you go up to Region 2 and you have Langdon area Munich, and looks like we are going to overturn the call. So they are going to replay the hit. Big game up in Region 2. Mayport beat Hatton Northwood. Hatton Northwood coming in with a pretty good record to that one, along with Mayport. We'll get everything squared away, and now, again, like I said, I know Northern Cass is up taking on Richland tonight. It is the second game of their series, so Northern Cass does get the win in the first game, so that's the one for the region tonight. Richland did defeat Northern Cass 3-1, 25-17, 25-22, 15-25, and 25-14. So big night for Richland. But again, you don't know everything that happened and what was all going on. And we're going to have a lift called on the Warbirds. So, boy, that big turnaround for the Broncos on that reverse call. No, they're up by 4. And the Warbirds are going to call a timeout. Down by 5, 10-5. I don't have a final out of Oak Grove yet. They do have one of the games, set number 1. Grovers came back from down. They were down 18-7, and they came back to win 27-25. One set 2, 25-21, and they won set 3, 25-22. So Enderlin gave Oak Grove all they could handle tonight. But Grovers come out with a win, so they're going to be sitting at 10-0, along with Northern Cass at 10-0. So going to be a big game coming up between those two. And that one's going to hit the ground. 6-point lead now for the Broncos. Bergerman back to serve. She had a big run in the last game. Lakin David with the timely tip over, and finally the Warbirds slow that one down a little bit. Gutzmer back to serve for the Warbirds. Nice hit that time by Saxerud. Haven't said her name too much tonight. Free ball here for the Warbirds. We'll see if they can use it. Quick reaction by both teams there. And Kaczynski couldn't quite get the block. Goes off the fingertips, out of bounds. Riley Rostock, the junior, back serving. Springer with the reception. And Alexis Bush with the nice hit. Here comes Gilbert in the middle, and that one's going to be down. Broncos on a roll here, 13-6 now. Warbirds got to turn things around. You don't need to get them all in one shot, but, you know, if they turn this around and come back with 2, 3, 4 points and get themselves back into this. The serving by Lisbon tonight's been pretty good. Can't take nothing away from them. Keeping the Warbirds guessing a little bit in that back row. Eight-point lead now. And David couldn't quite save that one off the net. It was a good try by Lakin. Couldn't quite save that one. So Rostock on a little bit of a roll here. Warbirds need to turn things around here a little bit. Gilbert in the middle. Covered nicely that time by Kutra. And David couldn't quite get the tip over. A little bit of frustration you can see in her eyes. You know, it's something that an athlete's got to go through and turn it around. And, you know, that's the one thing they missed from Quam a little bit. You know, she was such a positive player and positive attitude on the floor. And no matter what was going, you know, Julia always had a, and still does, has a smile on her face. She, just before, I was going to go talk to her before the game, but she slipped away over into the locker room for a little bit, so I didn't get a chance to talk to her. I talked to the coach a little bit. So the freshman Oster back to serve. And Oster's going to get the point and the kill. So there's a big boost for Lauren. Down by 8. Game number 4. Warbirds got to come away with a win here. Keep this thing going. And all you got to do is give yourself a chance. And Kutra has it blocked up front. But going to get another shot at it. And she finds the corner. Point's going to go to the Warbirds. Good decision that time by Jess. Found that back corner. Oster on a couple points. And another kill for Lauren. That puts a little hop back in her step. Trying to keep that emotion level down, but you can sure see it in her smile. Warbirds down by 6. A little mistake there by the Broncos, and Warbirds are on a roll, and the Broncos want to call a timeout. So Oster doing a nice job back there. You know, you don't have to kill it all the time. You don't have to hit it exceptionally hard. You know, you got to give yourself a chance and just put the ball in the back row, and that's what Lauren's been doing. And she's rewarded with a couple aces out of there. So nice job by Lauren stepping in. And the rest of the Warbirds. You know, they're playing hard, and so is Lisbon. You know, both teams are playing hard, having a little fun out there, going back and forth. See if the Warbirds can keep it rolling here. Down by 5, game number 4. Gilbert in the middle, going to be blocked by Kutra. Actually, it was not blocked. It was in the net. Comes back. 4th hit. Point for the Warbirds. That's 4 now for Oster. And another 4 hits for the Broncos. So the Warbirds on a roll here. And like I said, you don't have to get them all. It'd be great if you do, but you know, they're fighting their way back into it, keeping the Broncos on their toes. And there's Kutra in the middle. Timing is off a little bit, but that's all it takes. Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. Worked out for Jess that time. Down by 2. And Gilbert in the middle. Nice job by Springer that time. And by David to get it up and over. Gutzmer with the save underneath. And the Broncos going to get a chance here. On the outside, there's Rostock. But the Warbirds cover it. Ooh. Good try by Gutzmer. Good volley back and forth by both teams. But you know, the Warbirds got back into it. They're only down by 3 now. Anderson back to serve, the setter. Here's Kutra with it. And she gets the point. Good try by the Broncos. You know what? That is a tough shot when the ball goes all the way up to the ceiling, comes down. You got to wait for it, and that one goes into the net. Kutra in the middle. And that one gets blocked by Tui. Still a 3-point lead. Tensions are growing here in the Lidgerwood Gymnasium. These are the games that are pretty fun to do. And a good hard hit by Kutra. She gets the point. Down to a 2-point game. Kaylee Harless going to check back in. Lake and David back to serve. Malk, Kutra, and Harless in the front row. And David's going to get the kill, or excuse me, the ace. Tui Saxarud and Bakken in the front. And good hustle that time by Springer. And that one's going to be long. And we're all tied up at 18. David back to serve. And Rostock can't quite get that one up and over. So the Broncos are going to call their second timeout here. The Warbirds take a 19-18 lead. So good action by both teams. Good fight by the Warbirds to stay in it. Down by, 6 or 7 there, and they got their 3 or 4 points back, and then now the second rally that they've had here, they take the lead. Game number 4. Looks like won't be a lot of time playing with the grandkids when I get home tonight. 20 after 9 here. Like I said, they had a long 3 games with the JV, and the Warbirds came out on top of that one. I don't know how the C Squad games went. I guess I didn't ask anybody, but there's some good games here tonight again. 19-18, Warbirds up by 1. And really, the only thing you can do to, that a coach can do anyways, to stop that rally is to call that timeout, and we'll see if it doesn't pay off. The Warbirds stay on a roll by Kuchera gets the kill. 20-18. Coach Ronnie Carter. I don't know if I've mentioned her name yet. She's up and down, talking to the players, and nice save that time by David. Here comes Rostock with it. She gets the kill. Kuchera was there for the block, but came down on the wrong side of the net for the Warbirds. So the Broncos down by 1. Rostock back to serve. Like I said, I haven't seen the Broncos play, but just by looking at things, I'm thinking Rostock is one of the team leaders out there. And just a little bit long. And we're all tied up at 20. Game number 4. Broncos up 2-1. And there's Kuchera with the kill. Boy, when Jess gets on a roll and she gets a set like that, there's not a lot of defense in Region 1 that's going to slow that down. Jess, of course, an all-region player here for the Warbirds, or better be. And Springer tried to save it there. That one of them's got to decide. Might have been out, but you don't know. Got to go for it. We're all tied up here at 21. Tui back to serve for the Broncos. And the Warbirds want to talk it over. The Broncos take a 1-point lead here. Game number 4. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in to Coach Law Sports. Sure do appreciate it. Go ahead and like the channel. If you do. If you don't, then, life goes on. Next game that we're going to do, we'll do the Hankinson Miller North Sargent game, and that's going to be a big game. That could be a deciding factor in who's going to be number 5, who's going to be number 4. Right now Hankinson is coming in with the edge of that. They're 7-4. Miller North Sargent is 5-4. Hankinson holds the edge over Kindred. They had beat them earlier in the year. And the free ball. Gilbert's back in. She's going to get the set. And the block by Malk up front. Point's going to go to the Warbirds, and we're all tied up. Nice block by Ashley that time. Kaczynski's back in. Jelnick back to serve. There's Gilbert in the middle, couldn't quite get the kill down, but she had a nice tip to the back. Going to get another shot at it here. We'll see where the set goes. And Kaczynski's in the middle. She puts the block on the 6-footer. Warbirds take a 1-point lead. I guess I got to get a little excited too. It's kind of fun watching these two teams play. Good games. And points going to go to the Warbirds on that one. And there's Gilbert. This time she's looking for the back corner, but Kuchera was there. Here comes the set to Gilbert. Again, goes for the tip over. Kaczynski's going to kind of in her mind a little bit, which doesn't happen often for a 6-footer, but going to get called for the lift there. Warbirds still up 24-23. Set point here, or another set point for the Warbirds. Bergman back to serve. Pretty good server for the Broncos. Handled by the Warbirds, and there's Kuchera from the back row, but that one's going to be blocked up front by Gilbert, and we're all tied up at 24. We're going into overtime. Got to win by 2. See if the Warbirds can come back here and get the point back. There's Bush with it. David couldn't quite handle that one from Rostock, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Match point here for the Lisbon Broncos. Warbirds got to come away with a point here. Keep this night alive. And there's Rostock again. And the ball's going to be out, and point's going to go to the Broncos, and the Broncos are going to come away with a 26-24 game number 3. So 3-1, the Broncos come away with the win. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Coach Law Sports. Hope you have a great night.